Hi, besties. Welcome to today's episode of my podcast, Mental Health Conversation with Caro, and I'm your host, Caroline Kihiko. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for choosing to be here. That means a lot to me. I love and appreciate you so much. I want you to know that this podcast exists to raise awareness about mental health struggles, to break stigma, and to create a safe space for mental health conversation. Today we are going to talk about things we need to unlearn about mental health, why it matters, and how we can gently unlearn them. So if you are listening today, you are not here by accident. Maybe you are tired, maybe you are overwhelmed, maybe you are healing, or maybe you are just trying to understand yourself better. Unlearning what you have been taught about mental health matters because what we believe about mental health shapes how we treat ourselves on hard days, how long we stay silent, and how much compassion we allow ourselves when we are struggling. This episode is a gentle reminder for you to question what you have been taught and decide what you want to keep carrying forward. And now I'm going to start. The first thing we need to unlearn about mental health is we need to unlearn the belief that strong people don't struggle. Many of us we grew up believing that being strong or strength meant we should endure any obstacle or any hardship on our way. We were taught that strong people don't cry, they don't rest, they don't talk about their pain, they just keep pushing forward no matter what is happening. This belief often sounds like other people need help more than me. I should be able to handle this on my own. If I decide to slow down and rest, I'm weak. And this belief is very harmful to our mental health. When we believe strength means silence, we isolate ourselves, we carry heavy emotional loads alone, we delay asking for help until we are emotionally exhausted and burnt out until we can't be able to carry on with our day-to-day life. It turns strength into performance instead of a human experience, and it teaches us to ignore our limits instead of respecting them. And now I want you to start unlearning this habit. You should start unlearning this habit by redefining what strength looks to you. And it's okay to admit that strength can look like asking for help. Strength can look like resting when you're tired. Strength can look like admitting you're not okay and you need help. And each time you allow yourself to be honest about how you feel and your limit, you slowly dismantle the belief that suffering in silence makes you strong. The second thing we need to unlearn is that ignoring our emotions makes them go away. This is the lie of all time. Many people are taught that to always distract their self when they are facing uncomfortable emotion. They are told to stay busy, to avoid the emotion, to always say they are fine even when they are not. We have learned to suppress anger, fear, and grief, believing that acknowledging them would make things worse. But I'm here to tell you today, healing starts when you acknowledge your feelings, not when you ignore them. This belief matters because unfelt emotions, they don't usually disappear. They settle in your body and your nervous system. They often show up in simple ways like feeling anxious, experiencing random stress, having emotional numbness, burnout, and feeling always on the edge. Ignoring your emotions, it teaches your nervous system that you are feeling unsafe, but in real sense your emotions are not threats. They are just signal that you need to slow down, you need to acknowledge them, you need to sit down with your thoughts, acknowledge how you are feeling. And this is one thing we really need to unlearn. Ignoring your emotion doesn't make them go away in any way. They just settle in your body and they'll be coming back when you least expect them. How do we unlearn this belief? We can unlearn ignoring our emotion by noticing our emotions without judging them. You don't have to overanalyze them or try to fix them. You can try this by gently asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where do I feel it in my body? Naming an emotion is an act of self care, and always remember awareness creates safety in your nervous system. The third thing we need to unlearn is that we need to unlearn the pressure of healing quickly. We all know that healing is not linear. We normally live in a world that values productivity over presence. Even Healing has turned into something we are expected to do it efficiently. We are expected to move on very fast, to be better, to get back to normal. For instance, you have lost your loved one, but all people are telling you is that heal and move on, they are in a better place. I mean, some of those phrases comes from a place of care, but they damage us more than they heal us. This belief of pressure to heal quickly is damaging because healing is normally not linear. Grief takes time. Mental health struggles take time. Some days you feel lighter, some days you feel it's heavy. Sometimes you are a one trigger away to breaking apart again. And when we rush our healing, we create shame. We start believing that we are failing as humans and we are not doing the necessary emotional work we need to heal. How do we begin to unlearn this? We can unlearn ignoring the pressure to heal quickly by shifting our focus from speed to gentleness. Instead of asking yourself, why am I not better yet? You can ask yourself, what do I need today? What is one small activity I can do today to make myself feel better? Always celebrate your small progress, even if it's getting out of bed, even if it's journaling one line, even if it's taking a walk, even if it's setting a boundaries, even if it's resting without guilt. Celebrate your wins, celebrate your small progress. They matter more than anything, and nobody knows what it takes to be you. Always remember, healing is not about speed, it's about safety. Take as much time as you need to heal and process your emotions. Do not be in a hurry. You are just human and you are doing the best that you can. The fourth thing we need to unlearn is unlearning the belief that your pain is not valid because others have it worse. This belief often sounds logical, but it's not. It feels like you are quietly invalidating our inner experiences. Life happens, others have it rough, and you have it in your own way. You shouldn't invalidate your feelings, even if it's simple feelings, they matter and they are valid. It doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you inconsiderate because you are valuing your emotions, even if other people have it worse. Even your feelings matters, no matter how small or little they are. We normally tend to tell ourselves that I shouldn't feel this way. Others are struggling and suffering way more. I should be grateful with what I have. But this belief is very harmful to us. This is because pain is normally not a competition. Minimizing your pain teaches you to silence yourself. It keeps you stuck in situations that you longer than necessary. How do you unlearn this? Replace comparison with compassion. Pain is not about competition. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate, say kind words to yourself the same way you would say to a friend who is in struggling. Instead of asking if your pain is bad enough, ask what your pain is asking for. Your feelings don't normally need permission to exist, they just exist, and you can't control that. The only thing you can do is to validate them and be compassionate to yourself and avoid comparing your pain with others. Even yours matters, no matter how small it is. The fifth thing we need to learn is unlearning the toxic positivity. We are always taught to be positive all the time at all costs. We are told to look for the silver lining in everything, to always avoid having negative emotion. But I'm here to tell you today, it's okay to feel your negative feelings. It's okay to be negative at times. Negative emotions are the ones that shapes you to positivity. There's this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It insists on backwards law. You have to be negative for you to be positive, but there's nothing as bad as faking positivity. You don't need to be positive all the times. You need to be negative. Life happens and you can't control that, and sometimes you feel negative. So forced positivity disconnects us from reality. It teaches us to always suppress emotion instead of processing them. It makes sadness feel like a personal failure. And how do we unlearn this toxic positivity? By practicing emotional permission. Instead of saying I shouldn't feel this way, try saying this is hard and I'm allowed to feel it. I'm just human. You can hold your grief and hope at the same time. Let no one tell you otherwise. You're just human. And there are days that life is hard and you have negative emotions. It's okay to validate them. It's okay to feel them. Take one day at a time, and eventually, when you create space for your negative emotion, that's when you are going to create a way for positivity. The sixth thing we need to unlearn about mental health is we need to unlearn the belief that mental health struggles define who you are. This belief is the most painful belief that exists. It turns our experiences into identities. But I'm here to tell you today, you are not your anxiety, you are not your depression, you are not your bad days, you are not your bipolar. It's just an experience. It's just a diagnosis that happened to you, but this doesn't define you. This belief matters because when we tie our worth to how we are coping, we become harsh with ourselves during difficult moments. How do we begin to unlearn this? We can learn this by changing our inner language. Instead of saying, I'm anxious, try saying, I'm experiencing anxiety today, and that's okay, and I'm going to be okay, and I'm safe, and there is nothing wrong with me, and this anxiety doesn't define me. Language creates space, and space creates compassion for ourselves. Lastly, I want to let you know that unlearning is not an instant thing, it's not a one day job. It's layered, it's emotional, it takes time, it needs commitment, it is uncomfortable at times. But every belief you are unlearning creates space for healing, for self trust, and for compassion. Unlearning is very uncomfortable, but it is also the most freeing thing you can do. If this episode spoke to you, I want you to know this: you are not broken. You are not weak, and you don't have to heal in silence. Your mental health struggles don't define you, and you're just human. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for showing love to my previous episode. I do appreciate so much. Take care of yourself, be kind to your mind. Take today to unlearn the mental health struggles belief that you have. It will create a room for your healing and your compassion. Celebrate your small wins, even if it's getting out of bed. Just know your mental health matters more than anything. Until next time, take care of yourself, be gentle with your mind, and always remember you are not alone. This has been Mental Health Conversation with Carol. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.